Yeah, the Geeks are in the studio. Ryan Ozawa and Bert Lum. And hey, before we get to the Geek stuff, hey, James, can you show that's Ozawa 2.0? Katie is over in there. Hi, say hi, Katie. Just graduated from high school, heading off to college. Thanks for coming in and saying hello. Okay. All right, now there's a couple of conferences that have happened in the last week. Apple and then also games. Let's start with Apple and operating system for phones.
Yes, absolutely. So Apple's Worldwide Developer Conference was on. They covered 4 of their platforms. They had Mac OS, they had the iOS, they had TV OS,
right,
and Watch OS. We can't talk about all of it. iOS was the big one, obviously their biggest platform, the iPhone, and they had a lot of things to announce. Some things that are catching up with Android, widgets on the home screen, for example. But people were mostly excited about the upgrades to messaging. They're taking cues, to be sure, from Facebook, Snapchat, WeChat. You can do things like send bigger emoji. You can sketch things and send it to each other. You can send full screen celebrations. There's all sorts of things that are going to make messaging more fun on the iPhone. One that people really liked was called Invisible Ink, where I could send you something and it'll show up as a message, but you have to scratch it to see what the message is.
Oh, that's what I
think that's going to be pretty cool.
More to do to read
More
the
work,
message. Yeah,
more work.
But that's cool. So that's all done within the operating system. You don't have to get an app or anything.
Exactly.
To do it right
They're
the
pulling in
yeah.
some of the best of other apps.
Okay, so that's the iPhone. Apple also made some changes when it comes to the watch, right?
Right. So the watch is something that people are interested in seeing what kind of new features are going to be on the new Watch OS. Now, one of the things that people complain about is the fact that it takes a while for the application to actually launch. So what they're going to do is they're going to actually have more of the application on the watch and a little bit of background refresh.
Because most of it's on your phone, right? Or
well,
is that where
yeah, most of it is on your phone, but now it's going to be, some of it is going to be on the watch.
Okay,
so there's
so
instant launching. There's going to also have new watch faces. The activity rings are a popular thing. They're going to be enabling activity rings for wheelchair-bound people. So that's going to be a great,
awesome.
addition. The other thing that's kind of cool is that they're going to include 911 and SOS from the watch.
Oh.
So instead of LifeLock, you can just 911 right from your watch.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's talk games too. Separate from Apple, but this is a big deal, certainly for gamers.
Yes, so E3 was the gaming conference. Now, people have been predicting the end of game consoles since the advent of mobile gaming, but it's still going strong. Sony, Microsoft, and Nintendo all had announcements. They showed off a lot of great games. Now, Sony talked about its the PlayStation. They're going to do finally a VR, a goggle headset, so you can be in a game. People have been waiting for that. $399 coming in October. And there's also a aim gun. It's like a white stick that you can use as a gun, but it turns into a real gun in a game, obviously. For its part, Microsoft and its Xbox, they're going to be talking about the Xbox One S. It's a new version of their current console, but it's smaller and slimmer. Also $399 coming soon. And their big news was they're talking about Project Scorpio, their next generation console. So there's going to be a new console. This one's 4K video, 8 cores, 60 frames per second. It's really like seeing a movie that you can play.
But is VR the area where the most growth is going to be seen at this point going forward?
I think that everyone's trying to make that the case, and we'll see if they can make a compelling gameplay experience for people to want to own one.
You are going to be compelled to listen to these guys on the radio at 5 o'clock today. What are you guys talking about?
Well, we're going to talk about the nascent aerospace industry in Hawaii. There's been kind of a effort to do this for many, many years. So we're going to get some of the key people that are involved with aerospace and talk about where are we and where do we need to go to actually make it happen.
That's 5 o'clock, 89.3 Hawaii Public Radio. Right. It's called Bite Marks Cafe. This is Bert Lum, Ryan Ozawa, the Geeks here on Sunrise. We'll take a break. We'll be back with more in just a moment.